Hello, Frizzle Falcons. Soul Taken is just as addictive as all the previous Mercy Thompson books. Unfortunately, not a 5-star knocked out of the park in every single aspect, but an incredibly engrossing and solid 4-star. I swear these books are addicting. I start one of them and it keeps me in its clutches until it is finished. Even moments that would be boring in a less awesome book, you know, like a slightly irrelevant flashback dream sequence, or a character just info dumping how the cursed item works, are really entertaining because of the awesome writing style of this series. And I think the most important part of that is the care of the characters. The characters themselves care absolutely about this exposition, and you've also gotten me to care because I care about all the characters. The plot isn't so confusing that I'm lost by the end of the book, but it's not so simple that there isn't things to keep me guessing and wondering and trying to puzzle these mysteries. In short, that is what I admire most about this series, that every book is so fun to read. But now let's talk more about the conflicts of this book, Soul Taken. Our big plot action of this book is that Wolf has been kidnapped. The werewolf pack for some reason is taking heat for it. There's various twisty politics going on with the vampire clans, etc. But in a lot of ways, I think that was the least compelling part of conflict of this book. Because sure, that gives us a quest for the characters to complete, and I like that. But what I really love is interpersonal conflict, is internal character conflict. And did this book have much of that? Oh, that's where it was lacking for me. So as some examples, let's talk about a way that this book did character conflict well, and then a way that this book did character conflict not so well. So first, well, Z is a grumpy, ancient fae who is incredibly powerful, but right now is fairly content just to be an auto mechanic. Until a cursed item shows up that Z has literally been hunting for hundreds and hundreds of years. And he wants it. And our main characters are trying to get this cursed item so that they can take it out of place, so that they can put it somewhere safe where it isn't going to hurt anyone else. And the question is this safe place in the hands of our friend Z? Because on one hand, he's been pretty trustworthy throughout the entire series. The only evil things he's done are against people who really deserved it. But also, he has this reputation, and this is something that he cares a lot about. Something that if he decided to be a little bit more power hungry, he could get a lot of power from. And I like that this provided a catalyst to examine the relationship between Z and Mercy, that they're really good friends. But how much can Mercy really trust Z if she doesn't know all of him? Sure, she knows the stories in the myths of him being a terrible villain, but is that still inside of him? So that was a way that this book did character conflict well. It was a side conflict, it wasn't as important as I hoped it would be, but it was there. Let's talk about another one that I wish had been more prominent and bigger. Mercy is magically bonded to the werewolves and to her vampire friend Stefan, and she's really uncomfortable with all of this. She hates them, and she's just kind of trying to live with them. And in this book, she is confronted a little bit more with that, a little bit more with the power of the bonds over her, and some new bonds that she accidentally makes. And again, that was good, but didn't feel that important in the end. But let's explore now one more piece of character conflict that I thought was done the least well of all the character conflicts in this book, which is Sherwood Post, everyone's favorite amnesiac character. And as people following the Alpha and Omega spin-off books know, this is the book where Sherwood has gotten his memories back. And you know what are the consequences of that? Practically nothing. Who is Sherwood? Why is he so powerful? Why is he important? This is a mystery that has been going on for many, many books now. One that I have been excited about, especially as I've gotten to know this character, as I've gotten to know how awesome he is, and have had hope for how awesome he will become once he becomes his full self and gets his memories back. But then he did, and it wasn't really explored in this book. It was just kind of touched on in the beginning and then ignored from then on. And that left me feeling so dissatisfied, and I kept thinking, why did we have to get the answer to this mystery now? Because I would have much preferred to wait a few books for him to get his memory back until it had naturally become important to the main plot, and then when it finally does get revealed, it'd be a huge celebratory moment that's so important to the action. But the way it is now, it's almost underwhelming. And I was reflecting on all of these little character style conflicts of which I wanted more of which I wanted to be more important to the action plot, and was kind of disappointed that they weren't. And I came to the conclusion that I think at the root of this is that this is the first Mercy Thompson book that I've read just by itself. I binged all the other ones back to back to back to back, and then I just read this one by itself, a little teeny tiny book. And It was fine, but it didn't feel momentous. It didn't feel big. It just felt tiny. And I think because of that, the series is much better binged. Because if you're binging all of these books back to back, it doesn't quite matter that reveals come at times that aren't the most opportune for that storyline, because the storylines are all blending together anyway. It's all just one big storyline. But once you take the books out and they're just discrete entities, I don't think they stand up as well on their own as they do as a whole entity series. I'm excited for the series to be completed one day so I can binge all of the books, because I'm sure that will be the most satisfying, funnest reading times. Like I said, these books are fun to read above all. But I do find myself not quite as much looking forward to future Mercy Thompson books because of this realization that just reading one of them is almost like a little snack, and then I'm still hungry for more. I'm still waiting for my meal. I rated Soul Taken 4 stars, and its book tone, its reader personality type, is Byzantium Purple, which means emotional and a mix of plot and character focus. Thanks for watching, and if you want to leave me an emoji to let me know you're here, give me a Halloween themed emoji, like a pumpkin or a sickle, etc.